Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, traders. Steve here at Logic FX Trading, and welcome to Daily FX Analysis. I don't know if we'll do a full week this week, guys, with the run up to Christmas. Not only will it be very quiet this week, but also obviously I've got other family commitments. So we'll see how we go. We'll get one done today anyway. Just like over the next 7 days, just quick look at yesterday. Nope, nothing yesterday. Next 7 days, consumer confidence in Germany coming out tomorrow. GDP growth rate in the UK, GDP growth rate in the United States, consumer confidence on the 23rd in the UK, and then PCE price index, durable goods, and PCE price index year on year. That's core United States. And then Friday will be Michigan consumer confidence, 23rd, which is going to be Wednesday. And then Japan inflation. And I doubt there'll be anything happening on Christmas Eve, guys. I know that Thanksgiving's really the big thing in the United States, but Christmas is a big thing over here. So there'll be a big build up to that here. Okay, guys, so that's the economic calendar. Not too much to get excited about. Last week was really interesting with the different views of how to tackle the current economic problems. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. Tommy central banks. The Fed, ECB, and the Bank of England all having different views of how to tackle the situation. ECB basically not going to do too much. The Fed are tapering and will be introducing rate hikes next year. And the Bank of England surprised everyone by hiking last week. But since then, the pound has moved short. So what we've got to do is decide whether it's going to continue to move short, which I suspect it is. Quick look at the charts. Pound. So the pound is moving. I'm pretty sure all of those are in the short position. So it looks like there's movement in the pound short. I don't know how big a movement that is at the moment. And then the only other two were two US dollar moves, one against the Oz and one against the CAD. I'm pretty sure both those will be long. Quick look at DXY. Now, on the 4 hour here, what we have been looking for, and remember, we don't have to get this, but one of the things I was looking for was just to come down and break that bottom, which would give me a much stronger response long. We got this move, and I did say, listen, it could just move long from here, or short from here, but we had been looking for maybe a bit more upside, and then it goes. But given what was said last week by the ECB and by the Fed, I was kind of thinking to myself, well, I don't know how that's going to happen. But, technically or structurally, that's really what you would look for. From here, listen, we're long on the dollar. The dollar's going to continue to grow. It's just about where do you get in, and that's why I was looking for that, because then that'd be a good place to get in long in the dollar. At the moment, this channel that I've got drawn here, if we go out to the daily. Now, things can break out of channels, of course they can, but just generally when you have a channel like that, if it's going to stay in the channel, you'd expect it to draw down and then go, and then draw down and then go. But of course, you can, have something like that, and then it moves off sharper. So it's entirely possible that we get an impulsive move out of the top of here. I'm not predicting it, but it is possible, which is the reason why I was looking for a bit of a drawdown in the dollar. So what do you do? Well, it is going to go long, guys. I'm pretty sure of that. It's just about how do you get into it. Now, it was the same with this. Looking for this to go short. It's just how do you get into it? Where do you get into it? Obviously, if you're in from up here, guys, get your stop to zero. This will probably go from here. Do you jump in there and then go short? Well, if you do, then you're going to have to give yourself a bit of space just in case that structure, becomes a little bit more complex, breaks that, and then goes. So often we see that, folks, that's what it'd be wary of, getting short here, very close to the low here. But I would say that at some point in whether it's 2 or 3 weeks time, I'm pretty sure the euro dollar will be down there, guys. It's just what path it takes to get there. Pound, well, look at that, guys. Now, the only doubt we had about this was, yet again, if we got that pullback in the dollar, then we would have got something like that, which would have been a better place to get involved. But we did say, listen, it's going to go short. It's just, yet again, which route does it take? Does it pull back before it goes, or does it just go? At the moment, you're kind of sitting there. I don't like trading from there, guys, because often you'll get a pullback. You'll get a pullback, and then eventually it goes. So was that the pull? Were those the pullbacks, and then this is the one it goes? Quite possibly. But I still wouldn't like to get involved there. I wish I'd have got involved up there somewhere. Because then you would now be in a position where stops to zero. You don't care now what it does. Obviously, you want it to continue short, but it doesn't matter if it comes back up because you've lost nothing in that particular trade. So we're looking for that short, guys. Aussie, same thing. We did more or less the same argument there, guys, or the same analysis. We're wondering, would we get one more leg up before it went, or would it go from where we were talking about it on Friday? And it's gone. There you have it. Does it continue down from here? Well, possibly it can if you're in it. Put your stop to zero. If you're not in it, you're going to have to look for some sort of little pullback before you get your next move down. New Zealand actually bang on a double bottom there, guys. And yet again, we were looking to see, would there be one more up in this before it would drop? I think that's a bit of an exaggeration there. I must have drawn that on the 4-hour time scale. That's why it looks a bit exaggerated. But no, we were looking to trade this short. I would say there's still more short to it, but yet again, it's about, do you get a little setup before you go? US CAD, yeah, yet again, we were looking, would we get another little leg down? That would be the place to get involved. Well, it didn't do that. It pulled back, but off it went again. I suspect there's more upside to this, folks. Why did that reset itself? Yeah, there's more upside to this. Now, it looks like I was suggesting the other day that it could possibly go up in a channel. Did I say it was some sort of running flat pot? Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to indicate, that potentially there was a running flat in here where you've had it moving up, pulls back, comes back to there, and then off you go. Well, it looks like it's not that, because that didn't complete. That's why we're looking for it to come in there. It's moved off from there. Little double top. Could run flat. Could run flat here. Which maybe give you a setup to get long in it. In other words, this could pull back a little bit. Might even pull back to there before it goes. I don't know that it would, guys. But that would go back to DXY, and it'd be the equivalent of that pulling back before it goes. Is that going to happen? I have no idea, guys. It could possibly push on up through there. Swiss, same thing. Obviously, we're looking for it to. No, we're looking for it to go long. But the other day, we were just wondering, would we get that before it goes? That's a big question mark now. I suspect it will probably do that. Yes, Swedish, same thing again, guys. Looking to break out, but will it pull back first before it goes? That's the big question mark. And obviously, the way to trade these guys is pick which one you want to trade, and then if you believe it, excuse me, going to push from here, or sorry, from there, then buy in now, and if it drops, buy in again, and obviously get your stop losses down there just in case there's some big surprise or other. But I suspect this is going to break out long. Yen, same thing. We were looking for the completion of that. We may not get it, guys. It might just go from here. Gold, we've had a little bit of a move up in gold last week. Looking for a setup to see if it's going to break out. Silver, same thing. Looking for a setup there to see if that's going to break out. Given what the mood is in the stock markets, quite possibly you could see a bit more movement in gold and silver. There's definitely a risk-off feel about things, guys. So it's about, doesn't mean everything's going to drop. Doesn't mean all stocks are going to go down, but it does mean that you're going to have to potentially rotate your money out of high-risk things into lower risk for certainly the next 6 months anyway. But how you go about doing that without losing money, obviously if you're in the green, then that's a different thing. But most of my accounts in the red at the moment, so you have to then start taking strategic decisions and saying, well, am I going to close that in the red and put it into something else that I think's got more chance of at least holding its price, if not moving long. But then the difficulty as well is a lot of the things I bought into, they kind of look like that, whereby they've had their high, they came off, and then around here was where I started to get involved, and maybe they've done that now, so I'm that much red. So you say to yourself, well, if I sell out here, because you're thinking the rest of the year is not going to be particularly good, or next year, sorry, isn't going to be particularly good for growth stocks. The problem then is that at some point they turn and they go, but you've sold out and made a loss, which is even worse. So it has to be a very balanced approach, guys, and a longer term approach with those stocks that you're in the red with, and have the potential to continue to correct. Bitcoin and Ether have corrected again over the weekend. It's nothing unusual there, but if you read the headlines, it's like the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, it's a drawdown. I did say the other day, or have been saying for weeks, that if they come down into that sort of region, I'd be a lot happier about potentially buying them. I'm not in Ethereum, or Bitcoin, nor am I in Ethereum. You can see it had a good move down, and you can see what my thoughts were on that on the 4-hour time scale. Was that if they were to come down into that area, and I don't know that they will, guys, but if they do, that's where I would probably grab a handful of it. I do have quite an exposure in crypto over this last few months, but not in any of the two big ones. In other ones that I believe one of them could have the potential to be the real cryptocurrency, or several of them could have that potential, or a real cryptocurrency, as in something that people use to exchange and pay for things, which you can't do with Ether and you can't do with Bitcoin because the costs are astronomical. You know, oil, little bit of a dip there in oil, where I was looking for it to break and go. Probably good that if that were to continue, that'd be good for the stock market, but I don't think it will continue. I think oil will ultimately go long. Obviously, if you're trading it day to day, a move like that could be a bit scary, but I don't trade oil day to day, guys. We use it as a just letting us know what's happening in the market in general. Euro CAD, little bit of a breakout there. It's come back down again. I don't know anything about that, guys. I would suspect more euro weakness than strength. Euro Oz, it's coming back down again, which is what we were looking for. Let's look at it in the 1 hour. Oh, there's been a little bit of a push up overnight. Let's just reset that. This looks like a zigzag back into there, guys. I suspect that'll drop from there. Euro New Zealand, same thing. Bit of a pullback there. Looks like a zigzag. I suspect that'll drop from there. I'm not in anything at the minute, by the way, guys. I just want to make that clear. Euro yen. Leave that one. I'm not sure where the yen's going to go at the minute, folks. Euro Swiss, similar to that. It depends what happens with the stock market. If the stock market starts falling, you'll see the yen and the Swiss gaining strength. I would leave those two alone at the minute until we see what's going to happen. And if we see them starting to grow and money starting to move into them, then we could start to look, see if there's opportunities to trade them long, guys. Pound CAD, I suspect this will drop. And this is despite the interest rate hike. Look at the interest rate hike the other day, guys. And it got to there, and then the market went, Don't like how the UK's looking. Looks like it could, if not lockdown, there's certainly a lot of voluntary lockdown. That's the word I'm looking for, guys. Remember, we were looking for this. So it's possible that's still on the go. There's a lot of voluntary lockdown at the minute, guys. People just not going out. Or if they go out, they're going out doing what they need to do and getting back home again. A lot of fear of this Omicron, folks. Pound New Zealand. Yeah, I think that will drop as well, folks. Pound Swiss. You can see it already moving there. A little bit of difficulty in that it's but any pullback potentially take it short. Pound euro, there's a move in pound euro. So we've called all of these, which is nice. Let me just switch that alarm off. Oops, wrong phone. Sorry, folks. Yeah. Pound euro. I don't often trade this, guys. I suspect there is more downside to this. Yet again, it's about finding the setup. Can't remember when we drew that, but I know we've got several arrows. I will get into. I know I keep saying it, guys. I will get into drawing more diagrams and posting them in TradingView, so that we have it nailed on what our idea was, rather than sometimes after. I know in my own head what I will have said, but it's trying to ensure that particularly anyone new watches these recordings can see that it's the truth and not just me making stuff up as I go along. Pound yen, you can see the nice move there, guys, after the interest rate hike. Look at that. So if you get anything like that, potentially, but remember what we said about the yen. Let's just wait and see. Same with this with the yen. That's a nice move down. Is it now going to do that? Well, that will depend on whether there's a move to safety. If there isn't any major move to safety, then, I'm looking for the Aussie to strengthen through the rest of next year. Aussie New Zealand, looking for that to go long. It has pulled off that double top situation. Potentially I might take that trade, guys, for the very same reasons I said the other day, that I think it will go up like this. And that would have been drawn in the 4 hour, which is the reason why it looks a little bit exaggerated. But basically I suspect it'll continue to move like that. Aussie Swiss. Yet again, same argument about the Swiss and the yen, but I will be keeping a close eye on this because I'm looking for something to trade the Aussie long against, and the CAD actually. Aussie CAD. Well, you know my attitude towards this one. I don't really have a handle on this one, but it looks at the minute like it wants to push long. Swiss yen pulling down, guys. I suspect. Oh, we were looking to see if this would break out and come down to here. It doesn't have to, you know. And the way it's been moving, would you be wrong to buy in there with the target of, whatever amount of pips that would be? If that's the way you like trading, then not necessarily wrong. What's that? 59, 60 pips or something, I don't know. CAD Swiss. Yeah, I'll be looking to trade this up, guys. I'm not saying jumping into today, but it is in a little double bottom. CAD yen. Yet again, it's a little double bottom there. We were looking to trade it long. We were looking for a little setup there to go long. So potentially, if it starts coming up here, maybe there's a trade up there. New Zealand yen. Same story with everything else, guys. Just let's wait to see the yen starting to move. New Zealand CAD. Potentially similar to the CAD Oz, but I don't want to trade that. New Zealand Swiss. Remember, we're only looking for one or two trades, guys. You don't have to know what's happening and everything all of the time. CAD New Zealand Swiss, same argument as with everything else. I suspect that it will move long, but just hold your horses. Don't be jumping in there. And then US ruble. I just put that in the other day because there was a lot of talk about the ruble devaluing, guys. You can see where it went to. It pulled back down again. Is this the start of the weakening of the ruble? Possibly. I don't trade it, guys, but it was someone mentioned it the other day, and I just brought it in. So I'll leave it there in the meantime, just to see if anything happens with it. Okay, that'll do us for today, guys. Want to try and keep these short. Bye for now.